What's good, Misfits? Your boy Blunt here. Check this out. If you watch the video with Ed Gator on YouTube, then you probably don't notice, but you're missing half of the conversation because your boy went live on my TikTok and forgot to hit the live button on my StreamYard. So the YouTube came in about 20 minutes into the conversation.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If you watch it, then you'll know that when it comes on, it's directly in the conversation. There's no show beginner and no opening or nothing. And so when you come in on YouTube, it's right already in the conversation. That's because I just didn't want to stop what was happening and restart it over because people were already watching on my TikTok. So I'm making this video and I'm cutting it from my TikTok all the way up to the point where the YouTube starts, and then you could catch that video on the channel, on this channel right afterwards. So my apologies, guys, on YouTube. You missed a whole lot in the beginning, even though he still gave us the rest of the show. And I promise you I'm gonna get better at it. I just be messing up. And so without further ado, here's the beginning of Ed Gator. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. It's your boy Blunt, Two Transit Misfits. As you can see, Brooklyn Pete cannot make it again, but the show must go on. And with that, I want to thank everybody out there that's checking us out, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. And we're going to just go right into it. As you know, since the inception of this show, we have always talked about how there's been a lot of violence against the employees, where you have assault on the rise and people getting hot coffee thrown on them. Operators, train operators or conductors are getting stabbed. And with the recent uptick in violence due to the general election, and with them talking about how migrants and all that, it just seems like there's a more focus on it now than it was before. But, you know, we've always been talking about this, and we always said that what you hear in the paper is usually just the bare minimum of what actually transpires on transit property. There's like an assault damn near every day and of different magnitudes, but you only hear about maybe the very, very worst. But, you know, having hot coffee or tea thrown in your face is bad enough. So, but that's not newsworthy. So they don't hear about stuff like that. All you do is feel the delays. So you would think, right, transit decided to finally do something about it. And what they did was they held this emergency rally. Now, I'm not sure who exactly set that up, but you had all the union officials there doing this rally. And this happened the past Thursday on October 17th, and they held it at the Utica Avenue station, where apparently the train operator was assaulted. And you would think, okay, great, you know, that's great. Transit finally is doing something. They got a rally going on. This is great. Let's see what happens. The problem is this: it's not that simple. And I'm going to bring somebody in who's going to give you their perspective of what happened at the rally. And we'll go from there. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my man, Ed Gator. Ed, what's good, brother?
What's going on, my brother? Good to see you again as always. Tell Pete we miss him.
All right. So real quick, before we even get into the rally situation, we always got to do this because there are always some people who don't know who you are. So give us a little background information, and then we get right into it.
All right. My name's Ed Gator. I'm currently work with the New York State Transit Authority, bus operator at a Mapstower division in the Bronx. I'm at a Gun Hill Depot. I've been driving a bus for the last 29 years. I've been running for elected positions within the union. I was an elected officer. back in 2006, going into 2007, and I've been helping the members ever since. Presently, I'm not an a union member, a union delegate, or a union official, but I'm fighting to get back in there to make change in this union that we have, because the current administration is just not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So, being that you said that, um, before we get just before we get into your take of it, would you agree that transit holding a rally in itself, before we get into the nuts and crannies of it, would you agree that transit holding a rally itself is a step in the right direction?
It would be, but it wasn't the transit authority that held that rally. That was the TWU Local 100 current administration
Okay.
that held that rally. That was not sponsored or affiliated in any way with the New York City Transit Authority. That
Mm,
was strictly done by the current administration of the TWU Local 100, and that would be Richie Davis as the acting president.
okay. All right. So, what was your take on you went to the rally?
Absolutely. Me and a few of the members from the Stronger Together slate attended in solidarity to we were hoping for to see was our brothers and sisters standing there in solidarity, voicing their opinions, letting know exactly what's going on with them as the assaults keep going up, and really nothing's being done about it. I mean, between Mr. Pollock being stabbed, which was, I mean, 11 times, is excessive. I mean, by a person that's been arrested on numerous amount of occasions. And, this is not the first transit employee that he's actually hurt. This is the second one. And, we went to the courthouse and we stood there in solidarity for Brother Pollock and his family to make sure that, that our voices are heard and seen by the judge, to let them know exactly that this person should not and be out on the streets and cannot be out on the streets.
Okay. Great. So, was I know you had some issues about the rally itself. So, all right. So we already figured out that it was the union that threw the rally, and wasn't even sponsored by the MTA, which is just sad in itself. But um, you know, I feel it's a step in the right direction. But you feel that there's a lot of things that went wrong. What's your take on it? Can turn your phone to yeah. There you go.
All right. The the actual thought of having a rally is a great thing. I mean, to get the members to come out and let the members speak and let the members, see and hear other members discussing exactly what happened to them, and the effects that it has on being assaulted. That would be a great thing for all the members to actually see it and hear it. But that's not what happened at that so-called rally. That was not a rally. That was a campaign promise and a campaign speech, and it was nothing more. I mean, how could you hold a campaign rally for assaults when not one person was on that stage that was assaulted?
Mm.
I stood there and shook my head. Not one person. All those dignitaries and all those union officials that were up there, not one person was assaulted. So how are you supposed to turn around and believe a union is backing you when they couldn't even bring one person on the stage to let them know exactly the trials and tribulations and what they went through being assaulted? How does that, how do you define that?
That's a good question. I mean, were there were people in the crowd that were
Yes. There was plenty of our brothers and sisters that were assaulted that were standing there in the crowd. And what really turned our stomachs, as we're sitting there, when I'm looking around in the crowd and I noticed all these union officials that were there and all these union people that were usually on release. And I looked around, if there was maybe 150 actual members there, that's quite a disturbing number, considering that we have over 46,000 members in our union.
well, that's very true. Um, for whatever reason, the union doesn't really come together like it used to.
Not even
The
close.
the past couple of rallies that I've seen are the ones that I went to, especially when it comes to assaults. The numbers are terrible. It's terrible. It's like nobody cares anymore, and that's just
It's
something
not
that
that
needs to be fixed. Yeah.
it's not that they don't the members don't care. It's not that issue. It's we're addressing certain issues at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mm.
Having the rally at Utica Avenue, our cries were falling on deaf ears. You had the news there, but that should have been done at the governor's mansion. That should have been at the mayor's office. If you want to make a statement to the riding public and you want to make a statement to people that you donate money to their campaign, and you want to make a statement, enough, this is what's got to stop. That's where you hold those rallies, not at a street event and playing disco music all day. That's not a rally. I mean, I was sitting there and I was in complete shock when I saw a police officer shaking his head, telling me and a few of my constituents on the Stronger Together slate, that's not how we do things with the boys in blue. If one of our members get hurt, we come out in full force. We let everybody know this is not a public display of dancing and having a good time. This ain't about good time. You don't see union reps sitting there holding up banners, TWU, Local 100, member this, member that. But come on. They stood there and they talked about the issues that they needed to be addressed. They were sincere, they were clear, they were concise. Those are the people that we need representing us, not this menagerie of people that are standing up there saying what they're going to do and hearing the same old stuff over the old cliches and bringing up people that we give money to that haven't done a damn thing for us.
Mm. So were they talking about? I mean, I've seen some of the rally, and they were talking about some of the assaults, but then they went off into something else. I don't even remember. I ended up turning it off at that point. Um, how much of the rally was talked about when they was bringing up assaults for members? How much of that? How much would you say, like a portion of it?
It depends on who was up on the podium at that time, up on that stage. I mean, first of all, you got Canela Gomez up there talking about assaults, but
Wow.
then you put your hands on another union member and you're going to stand there and talk about assaults? Really? If that's not an oxymoron, I don't know what is.
Wow. For those that's watching, the guy he mentioned was involved in an assault on a member some while back. Allegedly, I have to say allegedly because I wasn't there. So he was allegedly involved in assaulting a member. The member ended up with, I think, a broken leg behind the assault.
Yeah.
And hospitalized for a little while. So when he mentions that guy, it's like, why is he up there talking about it? Assault? So you can that way you understand the context of why he said what he said. Yeah, Gator.
Then you had other members of the union standing up there talking about, oh, JP Padalano. He
Battalion.
stood up there. Why? What are you doing there? What have you done for your members? East New
JP.
York. JP, come on. East New York. You had a rally in front of it talking about shutting the city down. Where? When? How? What are you doing? You sat there, oh, we're with you, we're by your side. But wait, it's amazing. That operator that got assaulted, he's back to work. And the person that assaulted him is suing the transit authority.
Mm.
Hello? What are you doing? How does
Mm.
this make sense? How are the members supposed to believe in a union when they're not even helping their own members? So you're asking them to come out to hear the same old rhetoric, the same old rah rah spiel, but then you don't do nothing for the members. And then the people standing in the crowd, the ones holding the banners and dancing and screaming and yelling all this stuff, but the one member that yells out, "Let the members speak." That's all this member did. A union sister. yelled out, "Let the members speak." And what happens? A woman, a woman who's on the committee for women, who's on the board for the TW Local 100 for Women's Committee, tells the member, the female member, to shut the f up.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? This is the union we have. This is the best we got. It's on video. People hear it. It's clear as day. They know she knows who she is.
Well, the members are going to have to decide about what exactly is transpiring between their union now and what they used to be. As far as that lady screaming out what she said, I seen the video. I just can't make out who exactly said it. It to me, it's like it could have been. For me to play that, it would be like just anybody in the crowd could have said it. So it's not even worth playing it. If it
I was
was
standing 3 feet away, and I know that person
okay,
very well.
good.
I was standing 3 feet away.
Yeah, if
Okay.
it
And
was
I
who he
know that
said it is,
person very, very well.
hopefully the people know who she is and they know what you're talking about and can concur with you. And
Oh, they can look on my TikTok page. I got it posted.
okay. Okay. So as far as JP is concerned, he's not here to defend himself. So we're just gonna leave it at some people might think that you're wrong about him not helping people. They might have different feelings about it. But I can tell you this: you're gonna have people here that's watching you right now, Gator, right? And they're gonna say, "Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Gator." They're gonna say,
Go, Brett.
"Gator is full of shit. He's just doing this as a campaign stunt to get elected with Evangeline buys." What would you say to those people?
Well, walk a mile in my shoes. Then you'll see what I'm dealing with. When I got to go to operators on their bedside, on the hospital bedside, because they got assaulted, bus operators out of the Bronx. Okay, when I got to go to Bronx, Lebanon, when I got to go to Columbia Presbyterian, when I got to go to Jacoby, when I got to sit there and hear that their cases are being controverted, that their claims are not being taken over by the transit authority and the union, certain individuals ain't doing nothing about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the phone calls in the middle of the night or in the day or during the day, where are they?
So
Where are they? Where have they been?
it's true that you, not only yourself, but Evangeline also gets phone calls from members asking for help because they feel like they have nowhere to turn.
No, they don't. And the crazy part is that the union itself is preaching and saying to everybody all this knowledge. You're claiming that you have all this knowledge back in the members. What has it done for us? Where have they been? You had Donald Yates, the vice president, standing there at that rally, yelling on top of his lungs, "Enough's enough." Really? What have you done for the members in Mapstoa? What have you done? I tell you what have you done for the station agents? What have you done for the cleaners? Okay? The only time you go around to those people, or even the traffic checkers, only time you go around them is during contract negotiations or election time. You don't
Mm.
know them. And half those people, they're part-timers. But what are you doing for them? How about sitting down and talking to them and finding out what's going on with them? Why don't you ask them what they need? How are they being treated by management?
Mm.
You want to open up Pandora's box? Let's go. I mean, you run to the Gun Hill Depot and claim that there's a coffin out there, and they're giving out a bad sign saying that, oh, the people are they're saying that the Gun Hill's going to have issues because they got a coffin. It wasn't a coffin. Somebody left medical waste from the building next door. But you want to sit there with your little photo op and say how good you are and you're serving the members. And every chance you get, you take a picture of where you are like you're doing something special and you ain't doing shit.
So how long was the
Just like you
rally?
did. Huh?
How long was the rally?
If the rally was an hour, it'd be lucky. Okay, the news was there. Richie Davis got what he wanted. He has little press. He got to sit there and say members first, hand out his little banners. and this and that. That's all he was cared about. His public image. He doesn't give a shit about anything else.
Mm.
Does he? Does he? What has he done to change anything in this union except for hurting the members? He destroyed the retirees, all 22,000 members, by giving up the medical CPPO. Okay, that's for start. Okay, that's right off the bat. And if he wants to negotiate, if you want to talk about that, then why don't you have a sit down with Evangeline Byers and discuss it openly? Why? What are you so afraid of? If he's such a great guy and is such an enriched person and smart person that nobody can come to his level, then why doesn't he sit down and debate Evangeline Byers on any issue involving the TWU Local 100 today? Why not?
Mm.
What are you so afraid of?
We should debate. I don't mind hosting that debate.
Why can't the members come up with a list of questions that they want them to answer and have an open forum where people can actually ask a question and let them decide and let them talk?
Yeah,
What's so bad about that?
I think that's fair. I
Hey,
mean,
listen, he knows how to spend union dues money. I mean, over $1.3 million last year alone went to people's hands that was sticking out their hands. We just gave Kathy Hochul another $18,000 in June. For what? What has she done for us?
mm,
Can anybody tell me what Kathy Hochul has done? Oh, he bragged about her being at the Union Hall twice last year alone. Yeah, because she had a handout. And it wasn't your money you were giving away. It was the union dues money you were giving away. So it doesn't affect you. You go to all these little events. I mean, come on. Albany Day? Really? Everybody sat there with their little $10 box of lunch in 2023 talking about we're going to reform Tier 6. But you go out that night in Albany and spend over $17,000 in union dues money for dinner at a steakhouse.
mm,
But everybody else got a $10 box of lunch, a bottle of water, an apple, a bag of chips. Really?
mm. Albany's not like it used to be.
Not even close because the members don't believe in what they have. How are the members supposed to fight for something they don't know no knowledge about?
Mm,
A few years ago, I was called down to the Union Hall when John Samuelson was president. Earl Phillips was there, and he asked me point blank. He says, "Gator, what the hell's going on with this union? Why aren't these kids fighting?" So I walked into the Union Hall where they had a class of 100 kids about to graduate, and I asked one simple question: Name the five founding fathers of TW Local 100. If you could do that, come up here and take this $100 bill that I placed on the table. Not one kid or not one person got up. But one kid did yell out, John Samuelson, and I told him he's about 73 years too late. So if these kids don't know nothing about the union, why are they going to fight for them? They don't know what they see a paycheck.
yeah.
They think the union, they think the union is a day off going to your delegate and getting a day off. That's not a union.
That's definitely what the story is, but it
I
shouldn't be
keep it
that way.
real.
Yeah, it should
Listen,
be that way.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat. People don't a lot of people don't like me because I don't sugarcoat things. I tell it like it is. We are grown adults. Now, if you want to be pacified and you want to be coddled, go to the members first. I'll tell you that straight out. They'll pacify you, they'll push you along, and they won't do shit for you. They say they're here for you. They'll put a sticker on your chest and they'll laugh in your face and they'll smile at you and tell you all these wonderful things. But at the end of the day, they don't do shit. Because if they did, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in.
So, how would you sum up this rally? That I mean, if you want to call it a rally, how would you sum
It
it
was
up?
not a rally. That was not. I mean, that was almost as that. I equate that to when you had your little when you guys had your little party and you had all the members come out. We sat there, we had cocktails, we were listening to music, we were drinking, we were having a good time, we were enjoying us. That's all that was. It was a campaign promise. It was a campaign speech. That's why the whole day was full of nothing but union officials and the crowd. If there was 100 people there that were actual union members, that was a lot. And like I said, 46,000 members, and that's the best you could do. Really? Let me put it to you this way. Tommy Brown over in Gun Hill Depot, he gets more people at his shop gate than they had at that rally. So you want the truth? There it is.
Right, hold on 1 second, again. Give me 1 second. Because we were live on TikTok. So TikTok is running, but the YouTube channel wasn't live. That's what I was just checking. I'm like, why is it not TikTok? Well, TikTok is live, but YouTube wasn't live. So we live right now. Okay, so going back to what we was talking about. All right, yeah, my bad.